utmost importance for good governance and a well-functioning council. The reason that the guidelines recommend that the elected council choose the selection panel is because we were elected to represent the interests of the community, which the council should also be representing. And the reason the Act recommends that the whole council should be involved is that we were elected to represent the diverse interests of the community. And it's one of our very clearly designated roles and duties. And the guidelines require that there be consistency across all New South Wales councils to the recruitment oversight of general managers. Councillor Bailey and I both separately surveyed many councils, including Tamworth, Tenterfield, Wagga, Clarence Valley, Upper Hunter, Naranda, Kiama, Muswellbrook, Sydney, Dubbo, and not only did we speak to those, but we spoke about other councillors with them. And their general managers were all recruited by a panel voted by all councillors in every single case. Well, there's nothing wrong with us being unique. It would surely not be our choice that Armidale Regional Council's novelty lies in preventing councillors from fulfilling their duties. There are reasons the local government guidelines recommend that the decision be a whole council decision, because it's in the interest of good governance that decision-making on council be inclusive and be democratic. One person, the mayor, does not know or represent the whole community like 11 councillors do. It is why council isn't run by one person, but by elected representation of 11 people. So I'm asking that we let us do our job of ensuring that we help define what kind of council we want to be by representing this whole district together. Let the whole council decide the selection panel. It's recommended, it's democratic, and it's the right thing to do.
Councillor Morat.
I'd just like to support what Councillor O'Brien just said. I find the process that we've gone through totally at odds with what's in the guidelines set out for the OLG. I've spoken to the legal officer at Local Government New South Wales and OLG, and they both say that what we've done is highly unusual and some of it's without precedent. So I think the control of this process needs to be handed back to the councillors. I don't feel, Simon, with due respect, that one person should select the panel, and I can't understand why we have such a large number of people on that panel from outside this region. You're basically saying that the councillors here haven't got enough depth and quality in the councillors to be put on that committee. Look around the room. I think there's enough people here to fill that committee without going out of town.
Councillor Morat. Now, is there a councillor speaking for the motion?
With respect, Mr Mayor, I think you mean against the rescission motion.
No, it's for the motion. Yeah, no, it's not unusual. It's in our code of meeting practice. So that's been brought to my attention that what we've been doing is not according to our meeting practice. So is there another speaker for?
Mr Mayor, I think what's interesting is what has transpired since the motion was voted on. I've been accused of sour grapes, of having a hidden agenda, and that somehow what we are doing is wrong. I haven't got sour grapes. I just want to ensure that a fair process is followed, that we are involved in the decision about the appointment of the CEO. I think even if we finish up, you know, the old saying about democracy must not only be done, but it must be seen to be done. That's why it's important to, I think, elect a panel rather than appoint a panel. I too have concerns that we've appointed two outsiders to the panel. In the checking across the state that I did, the only council that used an outsider was Narandra, and they brought in the general manager of Albury, a guy called Frank Zachnick, onto the panel. But that's the only council I know. Even some councillors went to the extraordinary extent. Tenterfield did two things. The last time, the whole council interviewed every candidate. Now, I don't agree with that. And the previous time, they chose a panel elected council. So I'm just proposing that, for fairness and equity, that we do revert to an elected panel, and that we can then vote accordingly. We might even finish up with the same result. But the point is, we will have been shown to participate in the democratic process. And you know, I think the other thing too is I haven't got a hidden agenda. I just want the best person for this community. Yes, I know a lot of people across the state, as Dr. Tiley does, but it doesn't mean I have a hidden agenda. And that's why I think it's important that we try and do things correctly. So, thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Is there a speaker against the motion? If there's no speaker, I'll put that to the vote. Those in favour of the rescind motion, put your hand up. I've got to wait for some. There's no one speaking against, so according to protocol, I've got to put it to the vote.
Yeah.
Councillor Robertson?
Unless we suspend standing orders to allow everybody else to have a...
No, I'm putting it to the vote. So those people who are voting for the motion, raise their hand, please. 5. Those against the motion is lost. I'd like to close the meeting, please, at time 8:15. Thank you.